Hey, what's up, guys? Gangsta Jeweler here. So today we are going to be working on. It's kind of funny because the last video I did was the replacing the spring in the lobster claw, and then I told y'all I was going to show you guys if you don't have a spring that'll fit. I was going to show you guys how to make a spring, and wouldn't you know it, we get a chain that has a fancy lobster claw clasp on it. The spring is either broke or gone. I'm assuming it's broke, but you can see it just flops around. And I'm pretty sure this necklace got pulled because you can see there's a big gap between the top and the bottom where the clasp meets at. And then not only that, if you look at the charm that's on here, the head of this charm has been bent and the ring on it has been bent as well. As a matter of fact, this looks kind of funny. Hold on, let me zoom you guys in. Look at his face. It looks like he got ran over by a truck. Is like squished that way. Like, oh shit. It looked like it just took a right hook. Oh man. I think it's made that way though. I don't know for sure. That just looked kind of funny to me when I seen it. We're gonna see if we can try to straighten that out a little bit. But you can see how that got twisted there. Now the good thing is this is a hollow rope chain, and I don't really recommend wearing charms on them, but if you're going to wear a charm, this is a very light charm, so not very heavy. On a hollow chain, you don't want to wear a very heavy charm, because on a hollow chain, when it's rubbing back and forth, it'll just eat right through these links, especially on hollow ropes like this. So that's just something to keep in mind before we go. Sorry, my voice cutting out on me. As we before we go messing with the clasp though, let's go through the other side. I want to see if we can straighten this charm out a little bit. I know they didn't ask us to do this, but honestly, I don't even know if they knew it was like that. I don't know. But we're gonna, I know this kid pretty well. I say kid, he's not really a kid, but to me he's a kid. And he works at one of the stores that we do repairs for, so I want to try to get him as straight as we possibly can. He's a cool kid. I say kid, he's not really a kid, but to me he is, in a way. But we're going to see if we can straighten this out a little bit. I don't know that we're going to be able to, but we're going to try. Because this is hollow. This charm is also hollow, so I have to be a little bit extra careful. Man, that thing got pulled hard. It had to have. Because even with it being hollow, that takes a huge tug to get it to turn like that. I'm hoping we can straighten this out. I don't know that we're going to be able to though. I honestly just don't know. I'm hoping we can. Like I said, we got to be careful because we don't want to squeeze too hard because it is hollow. So we're just going to have to play it by ear. All right, we got the ring straightened out a little bit. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just going to be the best we can do with it. Not really going to be able to straighten that out. That sucks. Now I can straighten the ring out, but I can't really straighten the face out. That's the problem. His face is just like, it's crazy. It's like it got, like it just got freaking whatevered. I don't know. I don't know what the hell happened, but it definitely got pulled. So we got the ring straightened out pretty much, though, at least. Yeah, we got the ring straightened out, but the freaking face is just, it's just fucked. Alright, guys. That's about the best we're going to be able to do with that, unfortunately. With that being hollow, there's not really a whole lot we can do with it. We got the ring straight, or as straight as we can get it. A lot straighter than it was, because it was, you seen it was turned quite a ways. And I guess when I get done with this video, I need to cut my fingernails, man. They're getting a little too long here. I just now noticed that. Boy, I wish we could straighten that out. I really do. But that face just got mangled. Alright. Enough of that. We went ahead and straightened the charm out the best we could. Now let's get back to making a spring for this clasp. Now in the last video I told you guys that in the event that you don't have a spring, you can steal a spring from another clasp, but if you don't, you can make one, and I'm going to show you how. But first what we want to do is go ahead and open this. Get you a pick or something that you can push right here to open this up and get that centerpiece out of there. So just take your pick, push in there a little bit, loosen it up. It should come right out. Keyword being should if you opened it up enough. But I don't think I opened it up enough. Okay, let's see what we got now. Well, let's keep opening it here. Eventually you get it open enough to where it'll just slip out for you in most cases. Oh shit, we dropped it. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, we're back. Yeah, this piece fell out once I got it open enough. So yeah, the spring is gone. You can see the so this part's still here, but then there should be a long part coming up this side, and it's gone. Now, I know some of you are wondering, how are we going to make our own spring? And I'm going to show you. this here is a piece of guitar string. And you're going to want to use either the, if you have a pack of guitar strings, you're going to want to use either the second from the smallest or the third from the smallest. One of those two strings. The other ones will not work. But the second from the bottom and the third from the bottom guitar string. And then you're going to need a pair, almost like you do in ring sizing, but you're going to need a pair of crimpers to round it. And here's another thing to keep in mind. So when you lock the spring in, I'll show you when we make it, you need to look at the clasp, the inside part, and see which way the inside needs to be. Because when you make the loop, if you make the inside on the outside, it's not going to lock in. So when I make the loop, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But you want to make sure that the part that's going in is facing the right direction. So what we're going to have to do is crimp around like that. Okay. And crimp around, and that is going no, that's going on the wrong side. I think, yeah, that's going on the wrong side, I believe. You'll have to kind of forgive me because it has actually, well, that broke, you bitch. It has been a while since I've had to make a, actually make a spring. But we'll get one here. And that piece was already feeling pretty weak there. Anyways, so hopefully this is going to end up on the right side, but I don't know for sure. Like I said, it has been a minute since I've had to actually make a spring. But, what is up with that side? Something wrong with that side. You know what? This guitar string is bullshit. Alright, this one is too weak. Let me see if I got another piece in here. I'd like to hope that I do somewhere here. Hold on just a second, guys. I'm gonna pause the video real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, guys. Well, your boy is a tard. So this piece that I thought, that's why I kept breaking, because I'm an idiot. I thought this was the guitar string I was using. It's not. It's a blade. It's a small saw blade, and that's why it was breaking when we bend it. See, it just snaps in half. So your boy's an idiot. So we got a pack of guitar strings here. Got a brand new pack at that. I was like, it shouldn't be breaking like that. It shouldn't even be breaking at all. Now remember, you're going to want to use not the smallest. You're going to want to use either the 13 gauge or the 17 gauge, or the second or third string from the bottom. I like to use the third personally, but that's just me. But then we're not going to have that problem anymore. This won't break on us. That we do know. So that was my bad, guys. Your boy had a retard moment. Now we have a real guitar string here. And this is the third one. Like I said, third from the bottom. Yeah, that's so much better. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe it. Yeah, we're gonna need that Yeah, I was like, why is this break? I've never had them break before. But like I said, it's been a while since I've had to make one. And I thought that was a guitar string, but it was not. So, that was my fuck up, guys. And honestly, I don't think that's going to end up on the right side. Yeah. That's actually on the wrong side. Let me see if I can get that flipped over. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. Who knows? Alright, I think that's going to put it on the right side now, I believe, anyways. If not, we'll just have to cut and do another one. Like I said, it's been a minute since I've had to make one. So I'm not going to bullshit you guys. But it can be done. If you don't have a spring, get you a guitar string and you can make one. And like I said, I prefer to use the third string from the bottom. I just find that overall that is gives the best spring. And pretty much that's all the springs are made out of in the Clasp anyways. It's just wrapped up guitar string. That's all it is. A lot of people don't know that, but they do now. So make your own. If you have to. I mean, if you got an old Clasp that's got one spring in it, you know that you're not going to use the Clasp, then, you know, go for it, you know what I mean? This thing's not cooperating with me here. Come on, turn around. You bitch. Come on. You can do it. Come on, get her turned around. crank it around. Watch, I'll probably get this finally cranked around and then end up being on the wrong side. If you haven't done it before though, it's probably going to take you a couple times, but after a while, you'll get pretty quick at it. You'll know which side is which when you're making it. But like I said, it's kind of been a minute for me. So there we go. Yeah, we got it on the right side. Okay, so you can see that is going to be our part that goes, and it's on the right side. Now you see how I got that on the back side? Let me zoom you guys in. See how I got that on the back side there? See how this piece is? So, see how that piece is? And I got the ring wrapped around to the back so it'll slide right into here. See that? Now, if I had that ring wrapped around this side, then it wouldn't lock in, if that makes sense. So that's our one side there. So then all we have to do is we need to finish off our long piece coming up this way. So what we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to pull that around like that. Okay, so now there's your spring right there. Okay, now you just need to figure out how long you need this back end to be. So we're going to cut it. Let me get my cutters here. So I think we're going to cut it right at, this might be too long, but I'd rather, you always want it to be too long than too short when you cut it. Okay, now you got a spring there, see? And this is super hard to bend, so it's very flexible. It acts just like a spring. And you got to be careful because you will puncture yourself like I just did, like an idiot. Guitar strings will stab you, so be careful. Alright, hopefully, let's give that time to heal up for a second there so we don't get blood all over everything. Now I don't know if I made that loop small enough. That ring might be too big for the actual setting there. We're going to see. Let's take a look here. So we're going to lock that in like that. Okay. Get that side. You want to get this side in first, locked in. Then you can try to pull. Let's see. Then you can try to pull, because it's going to be tight. Take you a pair of pliers, or if you got something better that you might have that you can think of. Because like I said, you don't have to use the exact tools I'm using. Everybody's a little bit different, has different preferences. But now what we need to do is try to get this bit around and locked in on the other side. And that is going to be a little bit of a chore here, it looks like. Alright, we need to actually bend that around some more. So let's go ahead and do that. Damn, that's smarted. That's gonna be sore for a few days. There we go. Let's try that. I hope I made that long piece long enough. Let's see. Remember, you want to get the back end first. You need to get it locked in before you go trying to get the other side locked in. There we go. Alright, so you see, we now have our spring in there. It's locked in there. Now, we're going to bend this part here back just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Okay. There we go. Now we got a spring in there. So now what we need to do is see how this is going to sit. Hopefully that back piece is long enough, which I believe it is, from what I can tell anyways. And we're going to slip it in and get it locked in where it needs to be. Okay, it's locked in. Now before we go testing it, now that you'll hear it lock in, there's two little holes in there that you wanted to get it lined up with. Once you have it lined up, then take your pair of pliers, because you see it's gapped, you can still see the spring there, and you need to close it. You don't need to squeeze real tight, just a little bit. And now we're going to do a test. Heck yeah. Look at that. Now you're going to have a little bit of excess there on the inside there where the spring is. But let's close this a little bit more here. Just squeeze it close. And you don't want to squeeze it real tight, because if you do, see that? See, we now have a new spring in there. Now, like I said, you don't want to close it real tight, because if you close it too tight, then this thing won't spring back. So you pull it and it won't spring back, if that makes sense. So alright guys, and if we want to, we can go ahead and cut that little bit of excess off in there if we want to. I really don't know if, I think we're just going to leave it that way. Yeah, let's leave it. It ain't hurting none. So now let's fix this gap a little bit here that we had earlier. And see, it's not completely straight either. That's why I said I can tell it probably got pulled at one point, or recently, because that looks like what happened to it. But see, now we don't have that gap there. Yeah, and that's super strong. Super strong. Let's try to bend this forward a little bit. There we go. You can see, snaps right back. And this is actually stronger than the string or the springs they put in there. It's a little harder to open, but it will, from it being open and closed, it will loosen itself up over time. But we now have a new spring in there, guys. See? Made our own spring. Now, like I said, you could cut that excess off, but I'm going to leave it there. It's really not in the way. And that gives it a little more stability long term. But that is it, guys. Let's go ahead and smooth it out now. Let me put the yeah, there we go. I'm just looking at the spring on the other side there just to see how it's reacting. Okay, cool. Now the main reason you want to make sure that this side here, this part here, did you make the spring? You want to make sure it's long enough because, let me see if I can zoom you guys in. You want to make sure it's long enough because see that side right there? It leans against the back of this clasp. If you make that too short, when you go to pull this part back, it will then slip through the back. So it's got to be long enough to where it sits way up here somewhere. Okay. But that's how you make your own spring for your clasp. Now, here's where it gets dirty because I've actually witnessed jewelers do this. This clasp here, I had told the person this belongs to, it's actually 150. I looked it up. So this is what they call fancy lobster claw clasp. That's exactly what it's called. It's like a lobster claw, but they call it fancy because it's kind of different. This is more like an almost $200 clasp. So what a lot of jewelers will do, and I've witnessed this, is they'll change the spring and they'll charge you for a new clasp. So they would have done that little bit of work, $200. And as tempting as that might be, I say don't do it. Now there is some cases where the spring can't be changed because sometimes I've seen it where the part of this is broken or it's missing the back piece, you know, to be able to pull it to open it and close it. Now if that's the case, then yeah, you're gonna have to replace it. There's nothing you can do. If the inside part's broke, you're probably gonna have to replace it. But I've seen way too many times jewelers, the inside be perfectly fine. They change the spring, $200. So about 30 minutes worth of work, $200. We're not doing that here. I don't do that, and the reason I don't do that is because I believe in karma, and it will come back to get you. And the only reason I know that is because I've witnessed it. And I've had it happen to me a long time ago. And I knew then that was the universe telling me, hey, you're doing wrong. But if you put bad energy out there, it will come back to you. So just don't do it. Be honest. What you put out there will come back to you at some point. You put good out there, good will come back to you. You put bad out there, bad will come back to you at some point. So that's just something to keep in mind. So we managed to save this person a lot of money. We were able to make a spring for it. So let's go ahead and clean it up now a little bit with our silicone wheel. Make it look like a new Clasp again. And by the time we get done with it, it will look like a new Clasp. Let me go ahead and hook it back up here. And basically we're just smoothing out because, you know, we had to squeeze with the pliers to squeeze the clasp back together. So now I'm going to go drop this in the ultrason and go polish it up. And we'll be right back. I wish we could have done something with his charm here, but it just got it got pulled on, man. It's all twisted, it's hollow. I straightened the ring out. That's about all I could really straighten out, though. But we're going to polish this up, too. And we'll come back and look at the finished product, guys. And be right back. Alright, guys. We're back with that chain. You see we got it all nice, clean, and polished. Got it looking good. Cleaned the charm up as well. Polished it up. Looks real nice. But we made our own spring for it. Saved them a lot of money because, like I said, that's a $200 clasp right there. I told them $150. I looked it up. In the event I wasn't able to make a spring or had a spring, it was going to be 200 bucks. Mainly because it's a fancy lobster claw class. Now you could probably put a regular one on there, but even a regular one that size is still, that one's about 150. But these fancy lobster claws, they're a little more expensive. But we saved them a shit ton of money. So now, like I said, I know it's tempting, but don't do it. Don't change the spring and then sell it as a new clasp. Just don't do it, because that shit will come back to get you at some point. Like I said, whatever you put out there, it will come back eventually. Might not be right away, but it will. So don't do it. If you can change the spring, charge them for changing the spring. Don't charge them for a new clasp. Now, like I said, there is cases where sometimes this back part's broke off, or that part's broke off, or it's cracked. Then in that event, yeah, you have to order a new clasp. I mean, there's just no way around it. But if it's just a spring, just replace the spring. And don't charge them for a new clasp. I know it's tempting, but you'll be surprised how common that is. I've seen it more times than I want to count, man. It sucks. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to throw this place under the bus. But one of these jewelry repair places I was at the mall, and I was just in there looking, you know, because they don't know I'm a jeweler or I do jewelry repair. They have no idea. And I actually watched one do exactly that. The guy's, you know, he said he was going to try. He charged. I think he wound up charging the guy like 250, somewhere around 250 bucks for. It was a little bit bigger lobster claw than this, but I watched him go back there and do exactly that. I watched him pull this out, change the spring. He said it'll take me, you know, maybe 15-20 minutes, and he did it, and went back there. But see, the guy had no idea what he was doing. He figured he was just swapping the clasp out and putting a new one on it. And that wasn't the case. I was watching him put the spring in there. He already had a spring. He didn't have to make one. He already had one. He just flopped it in there. 250 bucks. New clasp. But, you know, if people don't know, they don't know, you know. So, but don't do that. Honesty goes a long way. It helps you build longer relationships. Like I said, treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, don't be a dickhead. And good things will come your way. But if you need to change a spring and you don't have a spring, you got guitar string. Use the second from, like I said, you want to use either the second from the smallest or the third from the smallest. I prefer the third from the smallest, but the second from the smallest works as well. Now, like I said, it is a little stiff right now, but over time, just from it opening and closing, that'll loosen up. So, at any rate, guys, this is the Gangster Jeweler. If you'd like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. If you'd like to leave a tip or donation, the link for that will be down in the description, although it's not required. Just helps the channel grow. And show some love if you maybe learn something new. Also, if you want to check out my Kick live stream, it's more of like a reaction channel stream. I'll have the link for that down in the description. And then also my other YouTube channel, where pretty much all my live streams go from Kick. Also, if you'd like for me to do your repairs, you can visit my Etsy shop, which I'll have that link down in the description. And I'll most likely make a video of me doing your repair. So, at any rate, also, if you're looking to buy jewelry, I highly recommend Money Miser on Blanding Boulevard. And if you're looking to buy jewelry online, I recommend Stellar Jewelry, which I'll have the link for that down in the description as well. And also, if you need to get a hold of me for some reason, you can message me on here, on YouTube, or I'll have my email down in the description in case you got questions or anything. But at any rate, this is Gangster Jeweler, guys. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care.